Let's talk about one of my most anticipated movies of the year, and that is going to be Osgood Perkins' Longlegs, starring Maika Monroe as well as Nicolas Cage. And we got a bit of teasers here and there. We don't know much of the story yet, although Nicolas Cage did talk about their character not too long ago, and we'll talk about that in a bit. This is everything we know so far and what to expect. Before we get any further into this, make sure you are subscribed to the channel and you're hitting that notification bell. We're running a giveaway. If you want to enter that giveaway, all you have to do is be subscribed to the channel and comment below your thoughts and opinions on the film Longlegs. So let's get right into everything we know. So Neon has been teasing this very well. So this was actually a film that Osgood Perkins did with Nicolas Cage as well producing. Neon acquired it for distribution, and now we're going to be getting it this summer. The way that Neon has been sort of teasing this is by showcasing not much, just these very cryptic and scary looking advertisements. And the first one that came out was of this family picture, and in it you heard a 911 call, and it was very reminiscent of things we've seen in the past from movies such as The Blair Witch and all of these other films that sort of go about their way of making you feel like, hey, is this real? Am I supposed to be worried about these people, or what exactly is going on here? So that's pretty much how Neon said we're going to market this film, and I think it's been working for the most part, honestly, because these teasers have been making everybody talk about this film, wondering what it's about and what's going to be happening. So let's read a bit about what this movie is about. So it says, set in 1974, the film focuses on Lee Harker, a new FBI agent who has been assigned to an unsolved case of a serial killer. As the investigation becomes more complicated with occult evidence uncovered, Harker realizes a personal link to the killer and must act quickly to prevent another family murder. So Maika Monroe is playing Lee Harker. Nicolas Cage is playing the serial killer. You also have Alicia Witt and Blair Underwood as well starring in this film. Like I said, Osgood Perkins directing with Nicolas Cage as a producer. So Osgood Perkins has had some pretty interesting films. So we'll go over them right now. So if we look to see, they have been a director for The Black Coat's Daughter, I Am the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House, Gretel and Hansel, as well as the Twilight Zone TV show, and the upcoming The Monkey film that is taken from a Stephen King story as well. And they've also been a writer for The Girl in the Photographs as well as Cold Comes the Night. So I'm not entirely sure how I feel about the filmography. I haven't seen many of these films. Not too sure exactly how I feel about the filmography of Osgood Perkins. I'm excited though, however, to see this film. I definitely do want to check out some of their films they've written, as well as they also wrote this movie, and I'm pretty curious to see how they are as a writer as well as a director. So I'll definitely be checking out their filmography before the film comes out in July. But let's read a little bit more about what we know about this film. Nicolas Cage goes on to say, Osgood Perkins is directing and he did a great job on a movie called Hansel and Gretel. I love that movie. I love the time he takes with his filmmaking and with the movie themselves. He lets scenes breathe and build, and he creates a great ambience. And I almost call him a possessed Geppetto. The interviewer Kyle Buchanan goes on to say, possessed Geppetto. And Nicolas Cage says, he makes these dolls, and the dolls infiltrate families and get the families to do terrible things. It's a horror film. And he was, I think, telling a story in some way about his mother. And I played Longlegs as a very androgynous character, and I'm challenging my mom. But pretty much that's what Nicolas Cage has to say about this. And we saw Nicolas Cage in the teaser for just a bit sometimes, but it was a very interesting character that he's playing here, because it is a character that we don't see much of. We hear the character at times throughout the trailer, and he's just creating, as he says, this ambience, this very unsettling and disturbing character that seems to be wanting to infiltrate these families with these possessed dolls. I'm not entirely sure if we're going into a supernatural route or more of a psychological thing. We do know that this is something to do with the families, and eventually someone in the family snaps, and we see it in the trailer and the teasers as well, that they pretty much go on like a spree, but we don't know exactly what work is happening here, whether it's something psychological or it's some blackmail or it's something supernatural. I'm definitely leaning supernatural if Nicolas Cage is talking about possessed Geppetto. I feel like Nicolas Cage always just tells us like straight up what it is, but that's very interesting to see that interview a whole lengths away from this movie releasing, because everything else has been pretty cryptic about the film, but that was something that Nicolas Cage talked about openly. And so that was with journalist Kyle Buchanan for the New York Times. And so I really like these promotional stills, these photographs, these posters that they've been releasing, the cryptic teasers and all of that. We just saw the teaser when we were going to go see Immaculate, and I think that they are very much so getting everybody excited for this. And, you know, it's been a while since we've had some teasers like this that really don't give you much about the film and it still gets you excited. Maika and Nicolas Cage just look incredible as well. And I don't know if they're trying to sort of do this whole puzzle to solve as well with the alphabet that they're providing as well. But we'll definitely talk more about that if we get some more of it pretty soon. So Neon pretty much has a pretty solid state of films this year with Immaculate, Longlegs, and now, of course, Cuckoo coming out a couple months after Longlegs. We were supposed to get Cuckoo next month, but it got pushed, but we'll see what happens. Let me know what you think about Longlegs and everything we know so far about it. Like I said, Maika Monroe's character is playing this FBI agent, and I feel like the way that it's teased in the synopsis and all that, maybe Maika's family was one of the first families that got sort of possessed or had one of these dolls made, or Nicolas Cage characters like a family friend of them. And maybe Maika realizes this all as they're trying to solve this case. Or could it be that Maika Monroe's father could be Nicolas Cage themselves and they remembered this happened to somebody in their childhood and they're starting to pin it back to their father? You know, it could go very many different ways, but I think that tidbit about this whole thing being a thing where Nicolas Cage's character is like a possessed Geppetto is interesting. I'm very curious to see as well what makes them do all of this and where do they even find or tap into this supernatural magic that has these families committing these horrible crimes as well. But we do know E. Harker, played by Maika Monroe, is an FBI agent. They need to solve this case. They need to solve this serial killer before they strike close. And it seems that the next victim is someone close to Maika Monroe's character as well. Maybe their own family or them themselves. And we do know that Nicolas Cage character is a serial killer who apparently uses puppets to sort of lure people into doing these unspeakable crimes. We don't know if there's supernatural elements to it, but I'm pretty sure there might be. They are calling it a horror film, so there's definitely something horrific and supernatural to it. And yeah, this film is coming out this summer. We're very curious to see how it's going to do, word of mouth, and I think all of that is what Neon is banking on, and we'll see. Osgood Perkins, do you like them as a director or not? And also Nicolas Cage and Maika Monroe. Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you're subscribed and commenting so you can enter our giveaway. We will be announcing a winner at 29,500 subscribers, so pretty soon. So as always, that's going to do it for us. Follow us wherever on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. I'll see you next time. Stay safe, stay positive.